Hey, Soul Tribe, Tracy here with Sweet Spot magazine. Hey, Shaylin, thank you so very much for the likes, the shares, the views, subscribes, comments, donations, everything. I appreciate it all. Let's ring the bell. Let's clear out this energy, and then we'll just see what the message the Spirit has for us. Before we do that, let me remind you today is the first day that Red Violet's going to post a question in the chat because this week we're going to be picking five winners for to attend our VIP online party, our Sip and See event. All right. So let's ring the bell. Somebody wants to spin the block. Before I even rang it good, it was already going all the way back around. Somebody wants to spin the block. They want to come back around. They want to be like, hey, hey, hey. I may have, but I don't know what I was thinking, but somebody wants to spin the block. Bottom of the deck. Obstacles and challenges. This is somebody that you definitely had some obstacles and challenges with. This is somebody you had to move on from. Because you know what, you was like, later for that, I'm totally done with that. You know what? But your intuition told you that they was going to come back. Your intuition told you that they just needed some time. They needed some time to look at and accept reality. Hey, J. Mike. I don't feel like this person was really, truly in reality. They needed some time to to let that rain down on them, to sink in. And you know what? Because it was happening fast. They was hitting that reality quicker than what they had thought. And they were in that heartache, that loss, but it's something about, you got to download from God. You got to download from God. And you said, you know what, hold tight, hold tight. Don't get upset, hold tight. Because this person needed to see that they didn't defeat you. They thought that they was going to defeat you. They thought that you was going to go down. You was not going to be able to get back up, that you was going to be distraught. You wasn't going to know what to do. But this person found out that you have a firmer foundation than what they thought. You strong. They didn't think that. Maybe you're a small person. Maybe you just look weak. Maybe you're short. Maybe you have a really pretty face. But whatever it was, somebody looked at you and thought you wasn't going to be able to handle it. Now somebody's definitely having some conflict about your union because you know what? This person is finally realized that they're supposed to be with you, not that other crew, not those other people that they were trying to hang out with. They're supposed to be with you. What's the message? Somebody like I said, oh gosh, this is too many. This is way too many. But something about this partnership, maybe somebody really had to look at themselves and they had to do some shadow work to open up that solar plexus chakra to get them to the position where they needed to be. The confidence, you being able to look at things and not really worrying about what nobody says, knowing that you can do it alone. You don't need the crowd behind you for you to take a step up. Somebody, they want this new beginning, but they want this new beginning with their heart open because their heart is ignited. Something, I don't know, maybe somebody had a talk with someone. Oh, could have been. Somebody had a talk with someone or they had a conversation with someone else and someone said, hey, you know what? You're doing it wrong. That's not your position. Your position is this. This is what you're here for. This is your position. But the way that this person was, and I don't want to say ministering like they were a minister, but they were ministering to this person. It made sense. Somebody spent a lot of time by themselves thinking, what they missed. How did they miss it? How come they didn't see it? What was so special? What were they thinking? What were they looking at? And now I think that they are just realizing that this is part of their destiny. This is part of their destiny. They had to go through this disruption. They had to have everything destroyed in order for them to understand that there is a God, that there is faith, that there is hope, that there is light, that they needed to have that mustard seed. There is most definitely a God. This is the truth. And they know it's the truth. And now they feel like they want to go back. They need to go back. Instead of just having memories of love, they need to do something that's right. This person, they're transforming. They're transforming, and it's like they're doing it with courage this time. This person, they know the truth. They definitely know the truth of whatever this was. Hey, Addie, how are you? What's the message, Spirit? Yeah, this is something. Almost like one day somebody probably woke up and was like, whoa, whoa. You can see things this way for a long time. And then one day you wake up and you're like, what was I even looking at? Yeah, somebody, they know that they have to transform. It's right. It's time. Something about this material and spiritual prosperity. And the universe is bringing an opportunity back around for them. This time they're going to do it different. This time they're going to be resting in and relying on God, knowing that God is going to help them with the patience and the planning, and God is going to help them stand their ground. This time it's going to be different. This person understands who they actually really need to sacrifice, and it's not you. It should not have ever been you. Once again, this person, they intend to triumph. They know their truth now. They know where they need to be and what they need to be doing. Hey, Jeanette, how are you? Ooh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this person was in solitude for a while. But you know what? That solitude that they were in, that's exactly what they needed, because guess what? That's whenever it's almost like they got so tired or fed up with their situation that they needed to get it out. They needed to get it off their chest, get it out of their heart, stop carrying those burdens that weren't theirs. That wasn't their shit to carry. That was somebody else's. But somebody else had tried to put these burdens on this person to get them to conform. And that person was so tired because they realized they're not happy like that. What they wanted was their wishes, the fulfillment of their wishes. But instead, this person is finding that they actually have to withdraw. They have to emotionally withdraw from some people that they thought they were supposed to be around. They thought that this was supposed to be the good group, only to find out that their third eye could really see this group and let them know, no, 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 no. Their third eye let them know that, hey, you're experiencing some emotional loss. This person thought they was going to get victory, but instead they got emotional loss. Where they went, because they ghosted you. Where they went, they thought the love was going to begin, but honey, that was the furthest thing from love. that person took off running. It was like, oh no, this is not it. This can't work. Mm-hmm. Yes, that was because where they went, there was no firm foundation. There was no starting point. This was just one of those, we gonna do something. This wasn't an authentic. This wasn't building up. This wasn't, I got your back. You got. This was not that. This was just, we gonna do something. Yeah, they was confused as to who they, it's like they was hanging with the crowd. The crowd got them all mixed up in their head. They wasn't thinking right. They wasn't doing what they supposed to be doing, but they thought they had it going on. Hey, light worker William. They thought they had it going on. But something was brought to this person's light, to their attention. And it had to do with this relationship or their relationships. It had to do with them needing some work on themselves. Like somebody sat them down and said, listen here, listen, young lady, or listen here, young man, or whoever. Let's talk. We need to have a serious discussion. Yeah, because it's like somebody said, wait, the way that you going, you're not going to be able to handle that smoke. Hey, Yvette, you're not going to be able to handle that smoke. Someone let this person know you don't see what I see, or you don't see, what's coming, or you definitely didn't see that you had a blessing right in front of you whenever it was in front of you. You had a total blessing, and you didn't see it. You didn't notice it. You didn't acknowledge it. And now something's going wrong and you trapped in fear. Feeling like you can't get out of a situation that you put yourself in. And that's where somebody had to learn to open up their throat chakra and say, oh, no, this is not for me. But I feel like somebody did. It's like they started making sure that they felt that they were able to build themselves up, that they were able to look at everything, that they were able to feel confident about themselves, understand that their choices were their choices and they don't have to get anyone else involved in making their choice. In fact, they need to tune people out when they're making their choices, their decisions. And mostly this person, they started praying. They started praying for God's help, praying for God's assistance, praying for God to get them out of this disruption, out of this tower moment, out of this, because now they understand the truth about this, the truth about where they're supposed to be. Now they understand the truth about you. And that's why this person now wants love to begin. Now they want to spin the block. They want to get past these obstacles. They want to get past these challenges. I feel like this person, it's like they got serious. They woke up one day, they went to sleep and they were a little girl or a little boy. And they woke up the next day and they were either a man or a woman. And maybe there was a conversation they had with God while they were seeking God. Yes, that's what it was. They had a conversation with God while they were seeking God. And that conversation, that dream was like so real. When you have a dream that seems so real that when you wake up, you wish that you had not waken up yet. You want to try and hurry up and go back to sleep so you can get back onto the dream. That's where this person was. It's almost like they could feel the love, the warmth, the sunshine. They could feel the acceptance, the inclusion of God. Now this person, they're following their intuition. They're following their intuition, and their intuition is telling them why they're having this tower moment. What caused it? Yes. And they're open. They're open to receiving downloads now, which is exactly where they need to be. What's the message? Hey, Queen J, how are you? What's the message? Thank you, Spirit. Yes. Now this person is becoming wise. You know, once you go through something that could have taken you out, that could have ended your life because you was trying to be stupid. You wasn't trying to be stupid, but you sure the fuck wasn't being smart. You was following the crowd. You was jumping off the cliff because everybody else was. Not you, Sasha. I'm talking to the other people. You was doing all this other stuff. You know, instead of using your own mind, you was listening to somebody else say, oh, no, do this, it's okay. But yeah, enough of that. Enough of that. She's like, Mama, who you talking to? Go on, little girl. See ya. You're choosing wisely because you know what? You don't want to go back here. You don't want to go back to these changes, these financial and material changes. That's why you're learning to choose wisely. That's why this person has said, "Let me use my brain." I know that everything is not gonna work out just like I want to, but at least let me use my brain. This person, I feel like they want to come back, but they have to be patient with you. They have to understand the reason why you moved on. Because there was a reason why you moved on. It wasn't just because. So now this person, it's almost like where you were so patiently waiting for them to get a clue, for them to open up their eyes, for them to come on, for them to, understand, for them to realize and recognize. Now they do. And now they want to come to you, but they actually have to be patient with you. Because at this point, you know, you may not trust them all the way. You know, you're conveniently and comfortably being underneath your father's protection. You know, you may not trust somebody who all of a sudden rings you up. Oh, okay, yeah, I changed my mind. I'm gonna do this. You know, because it's kind of like, well, where was that at before? Where were you? Where were you? How come you weren't able to see all this before? You know, what else? Anything else in the stack? Hmm. Anything else in the stack? Hey, Melanie, how are you? What's the message, Spirit? Hmm? Okay. Now we're talking about this person. Doesn't have to be a male, doesn't have to be a female, but it's somebody who, was in that energy, in that masculine energy. Somebody that I feel like this person used to stand around a lot with their arms crossed. Like they would stand around and they would cross their arms and they like it was some sort of power move. But it wasn't. This person really just found out them crossing their arms like that is not a power move. That's saying back up. That's saying I don't want to be bothered. That's saying I'm closed off. That's saying I don't know who I am. I'm afraid to be me. That's what that is. Now somebody understands that that's not a power move. That's you talking about how weak you actually feel. But this relationship, They feel like with this relationship, things will grow because things were growing before. It's just that it was just starting to really grow. And that person got so impatient and felt like, well, this isn't enough right now. I need to do something else. Somebody else, some karmic was in the wings, like, oh, I can help you. And it was like, let's go. That's why they felt that emotional loss. Hey, Earth sign. And now somebody is feeling, it's like, when you was waiting on them, it didn't seem like they was like, it's not that long. Even though it could have been weeks, months, years for them to pull their head out their ass, they didn't feel like it was that long. But now that they have to wait on you, now that they have to, because especially if they made their mind up to know this is where they need to be, if they want to be in God's good grace, they got to go down this road. That's the only road they can go on. Now they understand how long the wait may be, how much power, how much strength they're going to have, how much patience they're going to have. Now somebody understands that, you know what? I guess I really did act like an asshole, but I got to come back and make it right with this person. So now if this person acts like an asshole to me, I guess I got to take it for a while until God says, okay, they've been an asshole too much, gone, gone. But if God don't say that, I guess I got to take it because I sure gave it out to them. Somebody, they know why you moved on. They know why you left. They acted like they didn't want to see. You know? They act like they didn't want to talk about it. Now they just they want to be like they thought that they was just doing something. But now that their heart chakra is broken open like an egg, and they really experiencing it, now they want to start over. Now they want to have that positive movement forward. Now they want to come back to where they feel like there's some stability, a foundation. Now they want to work on this partnership. Somebody wants to spin the block there. Well, spin on. Let's see what else. Bottom of the deck. Ace of Pentacles. Something about maybe somebody's trying to create some type of new, like somebody's trying to create something new. Like they're trying to offer you some type of gift, a big gift, or they're trying to do something to make it so that you're like, oh my gosh, thanks. But it's not working. You're kind of like, I don't know. What you want? What you want? Because I don't have it. This person is hoping that you come towards them, but you know what? They may have to accept that, whenever you left, that may have been it. You may not feel comfortable to come towards them. You may feel very defensive against them, and that is their own fault. That's their fault. I feel like they want to tell you some things, that they want to bring out the secrets. They want to talk about those things, the hidden enemies, the lies, the omissions, all of that bullshit. They want to let you know that, so that so that you know where they stand. They know that you was forced to go by yourself. You was forced to stand alone. and do whatever you needed to do. Make your own plans and whatever. You was forced to do your own thing while everybody else was protecting each other over there. And they left you over here. But it's okay. It all worked out. It all worked out. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? Yes, this person, they know where they need to be with you. With you. You're their family. They should have never even thought about going anywhere else. They should have never even thought about betraying you or anything. You were an earth angel. And this person is sitting here watching you and they feel like they got proof. You know, they watched you complete so many different cycles, you know, and they watched your worth. And whatever you have, you take care of it, you protect it. And what did they do? They stabbed you in your back. They betrayed you. They played the role of Judas in your life. But you wasn't worried because you always had God on your side. You didn't even say anything. You didn't even talk about it. You did what you had to do, and that was that. That's the part that hurt that person the most. Because you no longer called them or text them or wrote an email or whatever and was like, I'm tired of this and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Because that's when they know that you still cared. But the minute that you fucking walked off, didn't say shit, didn't let them know you're never going to hear from me again, didn't say I'm leaving because you ghosted somebody, that's when they knew they fucked up. That's when they knew you was no longer putting up with their shit. That's when they knew they had did too much. They was trying to be that dark wizard too fucking much. To the point where you said, fuck off. What's the message? Yeah, somebody, they learned that lesson. God was like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? Knucklehead, what the hell are you doing? Like, you get your ass back in there unless you don't want shit. You must not have won a damn thing. Get your ass back in there. Especially if you want your wishes to come true. Especially if you want some, wish fulfillment. But somebody was being so egotistical. They was being so stubborn. And they were sitting there waiting for you to come back. And they was waiting for you to come back. And they'd look at the calendar, they'd look at the clock, they'd look at their watch, and they like, damn. And then one day they woke up and they realized they're just sitting there on the dock of the bay, wasting time, watching the tide roll away. Because you ain't coming back. You ain't coming back. It's like, how much heartache and bullshit did this person think that you could have taken? You know, when you walked away, you knew you was walking away from somebody who was sitting there just lying to you and was never going to stop lying to you. Was never going to stop lying to you. Even if you said, I know you're lying. They was always going to lie. They was always going to mistreat you. They was always going to belittle you. They was always going to leave you left out. They was always going to talk about you behind your back. They was always going to do this and do that and do this. And they was always doing too fucking much. That's why you made that judgment call. The judgment call that fucked them up. You said you deserve to be happy. So if you got to be happy alone, you will be happy. too much. What's the message, Spirit? Thank you. Oh, yeah, somebody definitely wants to be healed. They want to heal this relationship. They know that you know the truth. You know, they know that you know the truth about what their little plan was, how they planned just to you know, play with your mind, play in your energy, play. You know, they wanted to have you off balance. This person was just acting young, immature, all of that. They wanted just to have you off balance. They gave to others but left you out. They didn't care. They freely gave to others. And but here you are. They know that you even need. You are the one that need. And they was like, okay, they be all right. Let them starve. Let them starve. They be all right. That's why you like, fuck you. You know, if somebody treats you like a dog, you like, fuck you. Don't nobody need you around. Don't nobody need you around. Yeah, this person, they're confused. They're not confused. They're not sure. They're not sure if you were going to accept them back. If you even want to have any type of anything with this person, they're not even sure because they know they fucking did too much. And that is the fucking truth. This person know in order for them to come in and have anything with you, they know they got to cut everything and everybody off that did you wrong. Yes, they got to expose it all. Everything and everybody that did you wrong. They got to talk about it. They got to put it all out there. Every part of it. Not even leave a little bit. Not even to leave the little bit that they don't want to talk about what they did. They got to. Loose Lips is about to sink some ships. Loose Lips is about to sink some ships. Because somebody getting ready to spill all the beans. They're getting ready to spill the beans, the tea, all of that. Yeah, I wonder what a nice man would be like too. You know? Yes, I'm sorry that you're traumatized. Yes. You know, people, instead of them sitting there getting themselves together, they feel like it's okay for them to go around and they're sickened mind state, and mess with somebody else, bully somebody else. You know, I don't know why people are like that. It's like their intuition is kicking in because they feel like you already know. That's what it is. They feel like you already know all these little secrets. Like they couldn't tell you nothing that's gonna surprise you. You know, they're gonna say, "Oh, and Jimbo did this." You gonna be like, "Yeah, I know." They can't say nothing that's gonna surprise you because you already know what was going on and who they was partying with and kicking with, and everybody else was saying this and saying that. You already know. But at the same time, this person feels like shit because although they were doing all of this, you were still trying to heal the relationship between y'all. You were still showing that overflowing cup of love. You were still trying to be that positive family member, that rock of Gibraltar, that one that they could come on, the one that not come on, come to. That's what I meant. The one that they can come to, the one that they can lean on. That's what I meant. But yeah, it was like you were still trying to help them with that. You were still trying to be that for them. But You know, they wasn't trying to be like that for you. You know, they was in that devilish energy. You know where they was at. Shit, you ain't got time for that. What's the message? What's the message? Mm-hmm. Yes, somebody is not. They were like they wasn't being a leader at all. They wasn't being honorable. Nothing. They was just being horrible. This person was being horrible. That's the only word I can think to describe it. To the point where you felt like you really had to protect yourself. And it wasn't just this person. It was like they was working with others, getting the others to gang up on you too. It almost like it was a sport. Like, yeah, we can do this. Yeah, we can do that. We can do. Don't even worry about it. It's just so and so, so and so. Like they didn't know that. Like you wouldn't know that they were sitting here doing some black magic and trying to cast all these spells on you and everything. But that's when God came in and put an end to this bullshit. That's why God had to shut it down. So, so Red Violet was supposed to post a question, but I don't think she's in here. So I'm going to go ahead and post the first question. Okay. Hey, Minerva, how are you? Yeah, something, the wheel of fortune is turning in your favor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the wheel of fortune is turning in your favor. Okay, so let me think of the first question. Yeah, I don't see her either. Okay, so let's just say tonight, if you are between the ages of 24 and 45, and let's see, 24 and 45, and the sweet spot gang sign, what is it? Somebody's watching you. Somebody's watching you. They feel like a fool. They feel like a fool for causing all this chaos for you. They really do. And they're leaving you. Yeah. Screwed up loyalty. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Here, let me post it. Let me see. I'm going to just put it in the chat. Yep. Okay. Yep. Uh, okay, so I guess I don't have to post it in the chat. All right, but yes. J Mike, if you're able to if you're not, just let me know. But if you're able to put the question of the sweet spot gang sign, what's the special? What's the message, spirit? Yeah, something about this person. It's like some type of father figure that they were. Some type of father figure. Somebody that maybe they looked up to. They looked up to is like, oh yeah, that. But now this is somebody that they regret even being around. This is somebody that they feel like they have to protect themselves from. They have to actually block. And they may, and it's like they regret that. They regret even having to go through any of this. Like this person, they couldn't see that someone was creating all of these, issues. Somebody was there waving the wand, saying this, saying that, and but yet they're sucking it in. They're sucking it in to the point where it's like once you close that cycle, once you completed that cycle, once you walked out that door and closed it, That's when they knew they messed up. That's when they knew they weren't going to have that happy home anymore. It wasn't going to be that happy life anymore. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? What's the message? Oop. Earth sign, he said, I actually needed him because I had abusive parents. I don't believe that you needed him because you had abusive parents. I really don't. I had abusive parents. I feel like you need yourself. You need to know that you can do this. That because if you feel like you need somebody, you're giving them power. Reclaim your power. You need you. You'd like their company. You'd appreciate them being around. But when it comes to a need, you only really need you. Because you can't make nobody love you. You can't make nobody like you. Seriously. My mother told me she don't like me and she don't love me. But that's not me. That's her. I'm going to pray for her. Because for her not to like something that came out of her means she doesn't like herself. I didn't need anyone else to validate me. I need me. You need you. Yeah, somebody thought that they could mess your world up. They could, turn everything upside down. But that's not it. That's not it. And see, even Spirit was telling this person, you know what? You was a fool. It's pretty bad when Spirit tells somebody that they was a fool. Because Spirit said that they was all they had to do was work with this earth angel. That's all you had to do was work with the earth angel. But you allow somebody to come in, say some bullshit to you, get you all trapped, then you stuck, and next thing you know, boom, now your life is fucked. The gift that you thought that you had, that shit is over because you thought that you was really doing something. You thought that you was like super smooth whenever you wasn't. Here you are going erratically to somebody who's trying to come lovingly to you. The two don't mix. Hey, Red Violet. So we already posted the question. So if you could scroll up and see what the question is. Thanks. Yeah. And somebody sees, when you completed this cycle, when you was done with all that. You don't need any of it. It's like that. Best thing you can do if somebody don't appreciate you is appreciate yourself and give them silence. Let them appreciate your silence if they can't appreciate your physical form. Somebody who now they didn't appreciate your physical form, now they have no choice but to appreciate your silence. They're feeling it. They're feeling it. Not only did they screw themselves up, but they're stuck. They don't know how to get out of this. They don't know what to do. They don't know how long it's going to take. What's the message, Spirit? Oh, no problem, Red Violet. No problem. What's the message? What else? Yeah. See, hmm, somebody thought that they could break laws of like spiritual laws. They thought that they could break a spiritual law, and they was just so tough, so powerful, that they could just break. Okay, it says we successfully connected again. Are we up? Are we good? I saw that it went out for a minute. Okay, thank you. Yeah, but they were young. It's like for them to be so young and they were trying to be courageous, but they really weren't. I feel like this person was kind of being a coward. And now this person has to make a plan to work on their courage, especially if they want that plan that for you to come back. It's almost like this same stick that he's holding right here, that was his original stick. And then all of a sudden he went out trying to explore the world, trying to do this, trying to do that. But you know what? Whenever it comes down to it, you only have one home, and that's the stick that he's actually holding. You only have that one home. So no matter how long it was, because in this picture his hair is short and he just had that one stick, but in this picture his hair is longer. You only have, it's like they said, there's no place like home. Somebody wants to work on their loyalty because they weren't loyal. And they definitely want to work on themselves. What's the message? What's the message? Yeah, somebody, I feel like boy, I don't know, like this, the energy feels like somebody just woke up all of a sudden. Yeah, like they just woke up like, no, wait. Like almost if they had a really bad dream and they woke up and they said, oh shit, I gotta get myself together. Or something like that. What's the message? What's the message? I hear my dog out there playing with her little squeak toy, but I'm okay with it. She's into entertaining herself. Yeah. Somebody wants to, now they want a plan to come in and give to you. Now they want a plan to come in and like I said, give to you because this person wasn't giving at all. This person used to do this. You can't give when your arms are like that. You can only give like this. But this is still in the back of their mind. How they treated you. That's never going to leave. That's never going to leave. That's always going to be a work in progress until this person can put this cycle behind them. Until this person can actually open up their heart all the way and actually give you your flowers. Somebody's traveling towards you. They want to talk to you. They definitely want to they want to be with you. They want to be around you. And they want to they want to tell you about how the bad things that this person had to say about you. How this person wanted you to end, how this person wanted your life to end. How somebody else tried to give them money for them to leave you alone. So, try to give them money and tell them, you did it, but you don't tell this to her or him, and it's just between me and you, and da 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 da. This is whenever this person is thinking about while they were doing all this bullshit, they was doing all these fast moves, and here you are was going slow and steady, being loyal, being kind, being thoughtful, putting one foot in front of the other, and this person's doing all this erratic shit. Mm-mm-mm. Hola, Marcia. How are you today? What's the message, spirits? Queen Jay said, people don't appreciate your loyalty till you're just not around anymore, and all your support and good advice is gone. True. True. What's the message? Anything else from this deck? I'll be out in a little bit, Saj. I'll maybe be done in a minute. I'll be done in a minute. Yeah, this person is overburdened. They're feeling how you're feeling. They are. They are feeling everything that you were feeling. And this is why they know they have to leave this hoe or 3 or 4. They have to. You know? It's like they were part of the crowd. They drunk the Kool-Aid too damn long. Now they said it's enough. They can't stomach any more lies. They don't want to be around any more lies. They don't want to hear any more lies. Because they know that this person was out to hurt them spiritually. We got 7 swords and 4 swords. That's 11 swords. They was out to hurt this person spiritually. That's why they wanted you to stay, for them to leave you out in the cold. Because they knew that if you was around, they was not going to be able to be hurt spiritually. That's why. That's why they wanted you gone, so they could get their own little hooks into this other person. Because they knew if you was there, you know how to fight spiritually. You know how to get down. That's why you wear that big ass crown. You knew about their secrets, their lies, and everything else. You knew about them trying to leave you out in the cold. Shit, you was used to that shit. You grew up in that shit. Shit, you was telling other people about the shit. You the one that got the t-shirts going around town. Them shoes to talk about that. They copied off of your shoes. People are walking in your shoes now. So it's like, come on, like you're not doing nothing. You ain't fooling nobody. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? Something about this broken heart is over. Somebody wants to end that. Yeah, they want to end that. They want to have this victory with you. They call judgment. They want to have a victory with you. They're done with all this other bullshit. You know, it's like they finally had to get serious with themselves. They had to get serious with life. You know, they had to. If not, what's it all for? You know, it's like you have to sit there and think to yourself, what do I really want? Because if you really want something, that's what you gotta concentrate your forces on. That energy on. It's not this. Somebody had to think about what they really wanted. Maybe they just wanted to work together with you. Or maybe they wanted to work with something or somebody, but the group that they was working with, I don't know if that group was good for them. She keep coming in like she's still doing this. Yes, Marcia, return to sender with extremely prejudiced times 20,000. Yes. And I prayed to my child Homeless. Yes, my humanitarian work is helping and healing children. Oh, good, good, good. If his friends were toxic, he was toxic too. Remember that birds of a feather will always stick and hang together. Remember that. You're not going to have that sweet guy hanging out with them dogs. He might be a sweet guy in front of your face, but he's going to be a dog whenever they leave or whenever he's no longer around you. You know? Anything else? Anything from this deck? Because I've been shuffling. Nothing wants to come out. Really? Okay, there it is. Something about somebody they're ready to leave. They're ready to have that healing. They really are. They are. It's like they're thinking about the past. I feel like this is God talking to them. They're truly thinking about the past. You know, thinking about how good they had it with you in the past. These are 3 sixes and their Ace of Cups. I'm gonna pull something from the stack. Get them all the way from the back this time. See what's going on. Yeah. Somebody wants a victory. And they lost it all because they refused to change. Now they're having to change. Not only that, but they're being haunted. Now they're having to change. What's the message? Yeah. Their own spell took them out. They thought they was doing something to you. Telling you. Family. Like that. There's that word. Family. But you've been released. You know? Yes. Because this witch knew that none of their negative plans ever work on you. And they didn't think that they was getting ready to hit rock bottom, but they did. They hit rock bottom. Somebody tried to use your name. And that's whenever shit started unraveling. That's whenever everything started unraveling. What's the message, Spirit? And what does it say? What does that say? Home is where the heart is. This is what this person realized. Home is where the heart is. They also realized there is nothing wrong with therapy. See, somebody was told that they needed to act a certain way because of religious beliefs. Confirmation with my baby belt over there. But now they have an understanding of others, and they're able to see others. This is your new year. You have to tell somebody that, hey, you put yourself in this mess. You got to get yourself out. You got to save yourself. But you need to find you. You need to find you. That's all you need is you. Yeah, somebody got with somebody. They left you for somebody else and got a trauma bond. That's why that shit didn't work out. They got with a black widow. Okay, that's why that shit didn't work out. What was they expecting? What were they thinking? So, so yes, exactly. We ain't got nothing to do with what they got to do. They got to do that. All right. Yep. They admire you until the last breath. Okay? That ain't ever going to change. That ain't ever going to stop. They admire you. They're looking at you and they see that you are a master teacher. They want constant attention from you. They really do. That's why they want to come back. That's why they want to make amends. And they know that you're going to be a little guarded. That's to be expected. But they know that they have to be a part of their own rescue. Hmm. This is stuff that we just already been talking about. Hmm. So yeah, now somebody, they're upset and they're getting worried because they can't get into your energy. That's probably why they want to come back. That, but maybe you even surprised yourself whenever you walked away, when you didn't reach back out, when you didn't even say goodbye, you didn't go off, you didn't do that thing that you always do, you didn't pick up the phone or write an email or send a text and complain, you just was gone. You was just gone. And you left that person to deal with their own inner demons. You had to let that person know it was time for them to get their healing steps in, especially if this person considered themselves a twin flame. But you know what? Even with those twin flames, they want to start fires. But this twin flame found out they don't want this smoke. Yes, when you left the madhouse. And you may have two haters, but you don't give a shit. Because them two haters don't want you to have to show them how ruthless you can be. So you don't really give a shit. You could have 10 haters. You don't give a shit. You've been through it. Yes, self-love. Exactly. So, what's the message? Anything else? Yep. Freedom is in the truth. You want to feel free? You want to be happy? You want to feel like nothing can hold you back, nothing can hold you down? You're not afraid of anything? Tell the truth. I told you, somebody's getting ready to come to you. They're getting ready to come to you and they're getting ready to talk about some hidden information. They're nervous. They're nervous. And the people, that you may have trusted at one time lied about you. So, all right. Let's go ahead and pick a name. My little canine daughter, she wants some attention. So I'm going to go ahead and give her some attention while she is still okay, before she starts panicking. All right, let's see. Let's see. Oh, the Red Bella's got the drum roll in there. Yay! All right. So let's see. What is this, sweetie? Okay. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Did y'all pick a name yet? I don't know if it's J Mike. I don't know if it's Red Violet. Who's gonna pick the name? Let's see. Okay. Oh, so the question was, oh, okay. We didn't put it in the chat because I couldn't type it. No, J Mike put it in the chat. It was a sweet spot gang sign. There was let me see. I know that. Hold on, Shaylin. I'm trying to go up there. Shaylin answered. Also, Queen J answered. Shaylin, Queen J. Oh, she's starting to get upset. Oh my goodness, she is starting to get upset. Okay, so I guess it would be between. I guess it would be between them. I don't see anybody else, and I'm trying to scroll, but my glasses get funny. Let's see. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so J Mike has to. Oh, okay. Okay, so J Mike, you gotta choose. And we're gonna be doing this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So if you don't get it today and you answer the question tomorrow, you very well may get it tomorrow. So let me see. Now, who also? Let me see. Okay, J Mike. Okay, so J Mike said, okay, Shaylin. Oh, okay, Ebet. And I had just said the question. I do apologize. So today we're gonna pick Shaylin, but tomorrow, hopefully Red Violet will be in the chat in time or earlier to post the question, and then we can kind of go from there. But for tonight, it is Shaylin. Woo! I should get some clapping noise or whistling noise or something. I can't whistle because I got these Invisaligns on me. So it just sounds like woo, woo. That's not really a whistle. Yay! Congratulations. So Shaylin, we are going to need your email address so that we can communicate. And other than that, yes, thank you so very much. I do love you guys so very much. I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. I'm getting ready to get off of here. J Mike, thank you so much. Red Violet, thank you so much. I really do appreciate y'all. And yes, everyone, I will see y'all tomorrow. Okay. Yay! And we're looking so forward to this party. I'm going to wear a dress. All right. I love y'all. Good night.